Bella Vista Community Television presents Bella Vista and Beyond. Our hosts today are Nancy Noyes and Mike Cleary, and we will be talking about yoga for everybody type and retirement mortgages. And now to the studio for our program.
Welcome to Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Nancy Noyes. My co-host Mike Cleary will be joining us after this segment. As we learned in our first yoga program, yoga is a transformative process that can help everyone feel better and be better. Joining us is Kat McGowan, owner of the new Reiki and Yoga School in Bella Vista. Welcome, Kat.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
So tell us about the progress of your new studios.
Well, we're almost finished building. We will be getting keys on Friday, and we're loading in and starting free sample classes on Monday, October 18th.
That's exciting. So let's take a look at some of your progress in your studio.
There's the street sign on Forest Hills Boulevard. Close-up of the street sign. Inside the studio where we would be practicing yoga. That's inside of my office. Other angle of the studio. Other angle of the studio. That's the lobby and retail area. And the door entering into the studio.
I'd like to take a moment to say that you can donate to Bella Vista Community Television by texting this information. And we appreciate it. We're going to keep the cameras rolling. So tell us again when you are opening.
I officially open on October 25th, but the week of October 18th, starting on Monday, all the way through Sunday, October 24th, will be free sample classes.
Oh.
So the weekend will be the grand opening, and there'll be special kind of 2-hour classes. We have live music coming in. We'll be doing sound baths with gongs and crystal bowls. And also a yoga workshop on Sunday. We'll be discussing the science behind yoga, the medical benefits, and the neuroscience. So people need to...
That sounds fabulous.
Yeah, people need to hurry up and sign up because it's RSVP only.
I think everybody would want to take advantage of that. So I know that you said that the progress has really developed since the pictures were taken. What's been happening now?
Well, the walls are up. The walls are painted. We have HVAC in, so we have AC and heat. And yeah, the floors are in. It's really beautiful. The trim is gorgeous. I'm really pleased with what the builder did.
Excellent. I know that's exciting for you. It's been a long time that you've been working on this. I understand that yoga is Sanskrit for yoking or union.
Yes.
And it originated in India. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Yoga does mean yoking and union. What it is uniting the mind, body, and spirit. So when you practice yoga, you've got all these things happening. So it's not just the exercises and doing the poses. It's really uniting the mind, body, and spirit, or your emotions, right? If you don't want to say spirit, you can say your emotions. Everything kind of balances out. And that's what you're doing when you practice yoga.
Well, that's really important, I think. That's just great. So who popularized yoga in America, and when was that?
Well, I'm not a historian of yoga, but yoga first came to the U.S. in 1893. That was introduced to the United States from an Indian yogi. I cannot pronounce his name, so I won't even try. You can Google it. And then in 1943, a woman named, I believe her last name is Devi, she started promoting yoga and bringing attention to yoga in the United States because she took on students that were Hollywood celebrities, like Gloria Swanson. But it really wasn't until the 1960s that yoga became popularized here in the United States because there was a man by the name of Richard Hittleman. He did a TV show called Yoga for Health and sold millions of copies of books on yoga. And then in 1966, Iyengar published his book Light on Yoga, which that's when yoga really kind of exploded, and the different types of yoga and variety of yoga and styles and philosophies started to come to fruition. So I think it was really the hippies in the late 60s and Woodstock that really popularized yoga in the United States.
What are some of the physical benefits of yoga?
There's so many. That's why I encourage people to come to the Sunday workshop on grand opening weekend. I will explain in greater detail, but just in general, it's de-stressing, it's relaxing, it's great for stretching, loosening up the hips, it helps with sleep, your mood, balancing out the emotions, making you feel more calm. So it's physical and it's mental and emotional. So there's a lot of stuff going on when you practice. And also the breath. The breath is very important. It regulates our emotions in our system. It slows down our blood pressure, right? When you're stressed, your heart starts to pump faster. Just so many things.
Well, I also heard that yoga is good for the brain. Tell us about that.
Yes, as I mentioned just now, for neuroscience, there's things happening when you do yoga and breathe with the pranayama, which that's what we call the breathing techniques in yoga. What it is levelizing out the chemicals of the brain. So if you suffer from depression or high anxiety or PTSD or have sleep problems, when you practice yoga, it's actually kind of balancing all those chemicals so that you can sleep better, raising the serotonin levels. It's raising melatonin levels, which is the sleep hormone or chemical. I'm not a scientist, so forgive me, but that's what it's doing. So it really, really helps if you struggle with these issues. And say if you're not even diagnosed with depression or PTSD, but you deal with a lot of high stress or you're going through something difficult, whether you're grieving or going through a divorce or children's stress, it's just good to practice yoga to come to balance.
Well, I think that's particularly important in this time of COVID, and it's all of its sub-varieties of it. So I think that's very important, that it's helpful in de-stressing people. So what is the greatest satisfaction for you personally when practicing yoga?
Well, yoga has helped me so much because I've had a lot of lower back issues due to car accidents and just being rough with my body when I was younger. So it's prevented me, saved me trips to a chiropractor, it's saved me ice packs by practicing regularly. That's for the body, and also stretching, right? As I'm aging, my hips get tighter because we hold a lot of emotions in the hips. So it stretches me out in the neck and the shoulders. Like we tend to hunch over a lot when we wash dishes, when we're driving, watching TV, sitting too much. So it removes a lot of aches and pains for myself. So I'm speaking personally. Also just emotionally and mentally, it's greatly helped me because I have suffered from PTSD and depression and anxiety and panic attacks and sleep disorders, you name it. And it has so helped me to the point where I don't have any meds. I rarely take them. Sometimes it didn't cure me of it. I'm not saying it's a cure-all. Sometimes I still need that help. But for the most part, I would say 95% of the time, the consistent yoga practice has greatly helped me in all sorts of ways, physical, mental, emotional.
That's remarkable. And I think that's just a wonderful reason to practice to begin with, so good for you. So what if you are overweight and not flexible at all? Can you still practice yoga?
Absolutely. That's why I'm here today, is to demonstrate chair yoga, which is very easy on the body for all shapes and sizes. Whether you have a few extra pounds or you're in the winter of your years and your limbs don't work quite as well and you're not quite as mobile due to health issues and just regular aging. It's really accessible for anyone. If a 2-year-old can do it, a 9-year-old can do it. And my oldest client is a 9-year-old man who does chair yoga with me and practices balancing. And he suffered from a stroke. And he's regained the left side of his body. I've had a lot of cancer survivors come in because they've been through so much with radiation and chemotherapy, and it's been really helpful for them. That's the restorative yoga. That's that we demonstrated last time when I was here.
Yes, I remember that. Well, you say he's 90 years old and
Yes.
he's benefiting from yoga?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, that's remarkable. Well, so what I think at this time we'll take a short break and you can demonstrate some of the chair yoga that is good for anybody, no matter what their body weight or their flexibility limitations are.
Sounds good.
So we'll be right back with a demonstration. Welcome back. Now we're going to go to another really fun part of the show, and that's where Kat is going to demonstrate yoga poses with me on the chair. But first, Kat's going to talk about her poster.
Yes, so the grand opening posters have been hung around all over Bella Vista in different shops, and in those locations you should be able to pick up a postcard, which they will show you in just a moment, talking about the membership sales and the website, where to go to sign up for free sample classes the week of grand opening.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Now, this chair yoga is good for anybody, no matter what their body size, their body weight, their lack of flexibility, and all of that, correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
first, you're going to have to move a little towards the edge of the seat. Get off your back of the chair. There you go. And I'm going to hand you a strap. Yeah. And you're going to open up your arms like this. Yes, up high. And you're going to drop it to the back. Yeah. So this is stretching your shoulders and your chest area. Right?
I can feel it.
Yeah. Then you're going to come up, and then make sure your legs are hip distance apart. There you go.
Okay.
Now you're going to bend forwards with your strap. There you go. So you're doing a forward fold. Normally we would be standing and doing this. Now you can
I
come back
see.
up, breathing in. That's right. And now we're going to drop the strap back out and just hold and breathe. And breathe into your diaphragm. And close your mouth. Exhale out the nose. Good. Inhale back up. And good. Forward fold again with the strap. So basically, anybody who can sit in a chair and bend forwards and backwards and hold a strap can do this, right? It's not about weight, not about age, not about, lack of flexibility, right? Most people can sit and do this.
Right.
Right, really
Very
simple.
good.
Good. Once you hand me your strap, raise your hands up in the sky, right? Open up like a V, yes. Now you're going to inhale, exhale, you're going to drop your right hand to your left foot. Come down, you're going to twist your body, twist, open up to the side. Excellent. Inhale back up, arms back up into the V. Excellent. Other side. Good. Inhale back up. Good. So now you're doing back twists, right? We do this stuff in standing positions, but anyone can do this in a chair.
Okay. Shall I do it
Great.
again?
No, I'm going to have you stand up. We're going to move the chair a little bit. I'm going to remove these straps. I want to move this chair forward so you can be on the mat. We use the yoga mat for grip. That's why the chair is on the mat. Good. Now you're going to demonstrate doing Warrior One. So your left foot is going to go to the back of the mat. You're going to bend the front knee. Yes, and you get parallel. The foot's parallel to the mat. Excellent. 90-degree bend. Good. This is Warrior One with a chair. Now you're in good shape, so try lifting your arms and see if you can balance. Now have the palms face each other. Yeah, that's Warrior One.
Okay.
Now say if you can't balance, right, you struggle, all you do is hold on to the chair. So you're doing everything that you would do just like you're in a power flow or a regular slow flow class, but with a chair.
Oh.
Yeah, good.
That's helpful.
Now I'm going to have you bring that leg forwards. Good. We're going to practice some balancing. So you're going to hold on to the chair just to demonstrate, like in case you had balancing issues, right? If some of us, as we age, we start to lose balance on one side, or we've fallen, slipped on ice, right? We're just not so good on one side. So you have the chair to keep you stable. And it's also rescue. So first, just lift your left leg. Bend your knee, lift your leg. There you go. That's called high marcher. Now lift your arms and see if you can
I don't
balance.
think I can.
That's okay. So lift that one arm and keep one hand on the chair and tighten up your stomach muscles, because all balancing is about your abdomen.
Oh.
Holding it tight. So pinching your abdomen, yeah. Tighten that up, but keep breathing through the nose. A lot of people hold their breath.
Right.
Good. Now the other side. Try the other side. Good. Bring up the knee to high marcher. Good. Can you lift both hands off the chair? Almost, right? Now, if you come consistently each week, you're going to notice you're going to be able to hold these balancing poses a little bit more each week because of
And
the
I can practice at home, too.
Absolutely. I always say when you're cooking, kitchen counter is the perfect height to hold, right? To
Yes.
practice balancing while you're stirring spaghetti sauce or whatever, right, on the stove.
Exactly.
Watching it cook, you can just practice doing high march or holding on to your kitchen counter.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So anybody can do this.
Yes.
So let's do high lunge. So now you're going to put your right foot to the back. On your toes, make the feet forwards. On your toes, bend the front knee. Good. Now, that's too much. You want a 90 degrees. So step the front leg forwards more. Good. Good. There you go. Bend that knee. Good. Now can you raise your arms into a crescent lunge? Try. Engage your stomach muscles, tighten those up, and try to lift those arms and balance. On your toes in the back. Excellent. And when you feel wobbly, come down, hold the chair. That's why we have the chair.
Exactly.
Now, not everyone can do this position. This is a more advanced position, and you have to have a lot of leg and abdomen strength and balance. So sometimes if you can't do a pose in class, you would just skip it. Right? And you would do something else. You do what you can. And every teacher should be able to modify if they see someone struggling. Right. But if you do that enough over and over again, you start to build that stamina, that balance, that muscle memory, and you watch your body change. And this is with consistent practice. So by consistent is you coming once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, every week and not skipping.
Right.
And then if you can, say if you can't make it, you're traveling, then you memorize some of the things that you're working on, and you just do it in the hotel room on the travel or on the go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or if you're at home and your kids are sick, you can always YouTube, beginner yoga, chair yoga, and get free class and keep that practice up. It's not about the teacher, it's about you and your practice and keeping up with that. That consistency is going to start rebuilding your strength and balance, and all kinds of things are going to happen. It's going to feel really good.
That sounds wonderful. I think we can all use that.
Yeah, was that difficult for you?
No.
You were able to do it, right?
I was. I can tell that I need some practice, though, in order to be able to do it more fluidly and smoothly and hold it longer time. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. A really simple, quick practice. And then I want to give everybody the best part of doing any yoga class, and that's Shavasana. Once you lay down onto the mat, and we're also going to sample the crystal bowl today.
All the way down?
All the way down. You're going to lift your legs for me. I'm going to put this bolster underneath you. There you go. And then I'm going to have you prop this under your head. There you go. We're going to create, come on down, all the way down. There you go. Relax your arms. We place blankets to relax in Shavasana. This is corpse pose, the ultimate surrender pose. Are you comfortable?
Yes. Are our palms supposed to be down or up?
Whichever way feels comfortable. We finish every yoga class, whether we do chair yoga, mat flow, power flow, and we cover the eyes.
That smells good.
And then I want to demonstrate a little bit of the crystal ball. I'm going to get away from your head because it's quite loud. Crystal bowls are in tune to your chakras, which is your energy system. This is when we talked about Reiki last episode, so if you want to go back to the last episode with me and Nancy, we talked about Reiki and energy. This bowl is tuned into your heart to heal your heart with the sound vibrations, and we do sound baths to kind of promote healing with sound. So we use gongs and crystal bowls, and I'm just going to give you a quick sample. So that's the crystal bowl for the heart chakra to heal the heart. How do you feel, Nancy?
I feel wonderful. That was just beautiful.
So you can also come to the first week of that freebies of free sample classes and sign up for sound baths. Some of the classes we offer the sound baths, so you can experience the crystal bowls and the gongs.
Wow.
So hope to see you there. And that's done. I'm done with the demo, Nancy.
Okay.
You better come back up and be the host. Let me help you.
Okay, well, I can definitely begin to see the incredible benefit that yoga can be. I really appreciate your being here with us, Kat, on Bella Vista and Beyond.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Yes.
Thank you for having me again.
It's wonderful. Next up is Mike Cleary with his portion of Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Nancy Noyes.
Welcome back. Here is our host, Mike Cleary.
Here in Bella Vista, there are a lot of retired people, and financial consideration is a big topic. Here to talk about the retirement mortgage advisors or a specialist is my special guest, Lisa Dillion. Thank you for being with us, Lisa.
Thank you for having me. I so appreciate it.
What is retirement mortgage specialist focus on?
So we focus on basically, it's called a home equity conversion mortgage. And it's basically another word for the dreaded word reverse mortgage. So everyone thinks of the word being reverse mortgage as not being something friendly. But a lot of things have changed in it from the 2009 all the way up to 2014 to now, where FHA is an insurer of that. And so it makes it another great option for people to consider.
So what exactly is a reverse mortgage? I've heard, bits and pieces, but what is the real definition of what a reverse mortgage is?
So a reverse mortgage is where you're basically taking the equity that's in your home and you're able to convert it to being almost like a liquid asset, as you could say. You have it to where you are not able to, or you don't have to make a home mortgage payment. You also have, there's other options to where you can be able to pull in like a line of credit and be able to use that as a way to be able to pull out some of the equity and be able to use it in your retirement years. It's something for everybody over the age of 62.
Good. Now, is this a popular product, or is this kind of like a last-ditch effort where people say, I have no other options available? Is this something that people actually seek out, or is this as like a last resort?
It's actually becoming more popular between the two. So not only do you have the whole ability of being able to kind of be as a last option, you also have the ability to be able to use it whenever you have plenty of assets in your bank, so that way you're not depleting those assets and you're not basically dwindling down on any of the cash reserves that you have set aside. So by being able to use the home equity, you're basically relieving that mortgage payment and being able to kind of free up some of the time so that you could be able to use those for things that you want to use.
So you're a retirement mortgage specialist, but you're also an advisor. What is the process of somebody coming to you and asking about some information?
So what we like to do is we like to be able to include the whole entire family. It's not just necessarily just the one person who's applying for the reverse mortgage. We like to be able to include everybody because it is a big family decision, especially whenever it comes time to, if the kids are going to be living in the home, if they're not going to be living in the home after you pass. So these are things that we'd like to include the whole family with and be able to discuss about. And with that, we'd like to be able to, also encourage home counseling, and that is one of the requirements for the loan, so that way it's not just from the Fairway reverse, mortgage side that you're getting this advice. You're also getting it from outside counselors, so that they could ask you and answer any questions that you possibly have on it.
Mm-hmm. My father would say that he was, what I think the term he used was paper poor, which means he had a lot of assets, but not a whole lot of liquid assets, not a lot of finance. Is that one of the options available with this reverse mortgage, is that if somebody has a lot of assets but not a lot of income?
Right. So with that, they're able to have their assets, and their assets may not be in a liquid form for them to be able to pull out. And with being able to do a reverse mortgage, you're able to access that equity that you have in your home. There's almost $7.1 trillion worth of equity over the United States right now that everyone has just sitting there. And so this reverse mortgage does give you an option to be able to pull into some of that maybe you want to keep that assets still for those later on in the years.
Mm-hmm. So how did you personally get interested in this reverse mortgage or retirement mortgage avenue of finance?
So I had lived here just since March up in Bella Vista, but I have lived here in the Northwest Arkansas area for over 8 years, and I certainly just have absolutely loved the area. And whenever I moved up here to Bella Vista, I really kind of just started to enjoy a lot of the benefits that are not only here, but everyone is kind of moving to this area that are looking at for retirement. Especially with Bella Vista, with everything that it offers. So as it came towards it, I realized that there were some things that people don't necessarily think about. And some of the people basically have kind of expected maybe Social Security would be able to take their, part of their retirement. And there was a lot of things that I thought that we needed to kind of really focus on, rather than just doing it like a forward mortgage, which we do those, but it is necessarily something that a lot of the older people might not realize that there's some available assets for them to be able to use from.
Mm-hmm. One of the most common phrases that I hear in Bella Vista is, "I hope I live longer than my money."
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah, so this reverse mortgage or this retirement mortgage option, is that something that to bails people out of being in debt, or like you mentioned before, we were talking about improving their quality of life?
Right. So if you have the debt and that you're needing to have a way of being able to access that extra money that you need, we have that ability. The other ability is to be able to, if you have the assets, there's also the ability to be able to pull the money out from like a line of credit or a monthly payment that can basically be added in, so that way you enjoy parts of the life that maybe you haven't had an opportunity to. Maybe it's a matter of being able to get out and go take a trip with the grandkids or take a trip with the family members. Just some of those things that you, without having the actual mortgage payment, it allows a little bit more free money to be able to enjoy some of the finer things, some of the great quality of time that you can with family.
Yeah. You're talking about freeing up some money and having quality of life. A lot of times, back 50 years, people would want to leave the house for the kids to move into. I'm going to leave them this house. But a lot of kids don't want the house. So this is something that they can use to take a trip to Alaska or something like that. Exactly.
Yeah. So so a lot of times that is what ended up happening is that back 50 years ago, it was the family farm, and that was something that everybody kind of passed down from generation to generation, and a lot of people still have some of those. But if you talk to your kids mostly nowadays, most of the time is they're already comfortable where they're at. They already have their home, they have their family, and then they are already situated where they're at. So the chances of them wanting to move into your parents' home or being able to kind of take that step back really has kind of taken a back seat. And so a lot of the times when you ask your kids, are you wanting my home whenever I pass, or is there something? And a lot of times they'll say, no, I'm comfortable where I'm at. I would much rather have time with you now while you're here, rather than have to worry about maybe the asset of whenever I do pass, of passing on a home.
This whole process of reverse mortgage and retirement mortgage thing could be pretty daunting and also overwhelming. You have some literature that you can offer.
So if there's anyone who is interested, I do have a free book, and I am willing to send that out to anyone who is possibly interested with doing anything on this. It does give you kind of a complete overview of the reverse mortgage and the retirements, and what you basically need to be looking at for between doing retirement and on the reverse mortgage side.
So how can people obtain a copy of this or get a hold of you?
Okay, so they can certainly give me a call. My cell phone number is 479-282-8525. And then there's also my email address, which is lisa.dillion@fairwaymc.com. And so in either way of those, just certainly give me a call and I'll be glad to get this out to you.
Great. Now, you said that you have people that are counselors and advisors and things like that. What is your role particularly in this process?
So mine is that I am a certified reverse mortgage specialist, and so what it is that I've been through all the training, and that in order to be able to make sure that we're offering exactly the right product to the right person, because not necessarily is it always about getting so-called a mortgage to somebody. It's about making sure it's right for them and right for their family, because that's the most important part, is because we don't want to put someone into a reverse mortgage if it's not something that they need. And this is something that we go over a lot of the assets and a lot of the credit and things like that, to be able to make sure that this is the right product exactly for them.
Good. Well, Lisa, I appreciate you being here with us today and talking about something that's kind of a frightening subject, because people are like back off and like, whoa, I'm not sure I want to even go there, because it has sort of a stigma of being something last-ditch effort in case you have no other options available. So I'm glad that you gave us some more information about reverse mortgages and about retirement mortgage options.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on and being able to speak about this.
Great, wonderful. And the book is available through the information that she said, and also with Fairway?
Yes, Fairway Independent Mortgage. And so we have an office in Bentonville, and so we're looking to expand out up here to Bella Vista hopefully shortly. So
that's great. That's great. One other thing I wanted to mention before we close our show is a trunk or treat. Hold it straight. Trunk or treat at the First United Methodist Church. It's going to be on October 31st. And from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock at First United Methodist Church, trunk or treat is an option for the kids for Halloween. So keep that in mind. We appreciate you tuning in to Bella Vista and Beyond. I'm Mike Cleary, and for my co-host, Nancy Noyes, and for my guest, Lisa Dillion, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting Bella Vista Community Television.
Remember, you can see this program on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at various times. You may also view this program on YouTube.com by going to Bella Vista TV. This has been a presentation of Bella Vista Community Television. Thank you for joining us.